Apple cider vinegar. 3 simple words that can either make you curious or make you wince at the thought of drinking something so sharp first thing in the morning. But what if I told you that behind this sour, burning taste hides one of the most talked about health rituals of our time? Some people swear it changed their lives. Others warn it's nothing but a dangerous fad. The truth, as always, is far more fascinating. Picture this. Your alarm goes off, you drag yourself out of bed, and instead of coffee, you reach for a glass of water with a spoonful of cloudy golden vinegar swirling inside. It doesn't look inviting, it doesn't smell inviting, but you take that first sip. It burns, it shocks your taste buds, it almost feels like a dare. And yet, millions of people are doing exactly this every single morning. Why? Because apple cider vinegar has become more than just a kitchen ingredient. It's a ritual, a kind of secret handshake in the world of wellness. Those who drink it promise glowing skin, faster metabolism, steady energy, even protection against diseases. It's been called everything from a fat-burning elixir to a detox miracle. But here's the twist. While it sounds too good to be true, some of those claims aren't just myths. There's real science behind certain effects, but also hidden risks no one talks about. Let's start with the fascinating part. When you drink apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach, your body is in a very receptive state. The acetic acid in vinegar doesn't just pass through. It interacts with your blood sugar levels, your digestion, even your gut bacteria. Some studies suggest it can actually help stabilize glucose spikes, meaning no sudden crashes of energy later in the day. Think of it like placing a governor on an engine. It prevents wild swings and keeps you running steady. And then there's digestion. That burning feeling you get? It's not just discomfort, it's vinegar stimulating your stomach to wake up. It tells your digestive system, get ready, food is coming. People who struggle with slow digestion often describe apple cider vinegar as a morning kickstart that feels like pressing the accelerator pedal. But here's the catch that keeps this topic so controversial. The very thing that makes apple cider vinegar powerful is also what makes it risky: acidity. That sour bite doesn't just burn fat, as some influencers dramatically claim. It can literally burn your esophagus if misused, it can erode tooth enamel, and for people with sensitive stomachs, it can trigger more harm than healing. That's why the method matters. How much you drink, when you drink it, and what you mix it with. And this is where the story gets even more interesting, because the secret isn't just in drinking vinegar, it's in how you prepare it. Do you dilute it with warm water? Add honey? Combine it with lemon? Each version creates a different effect, and some combinations are centuries-old remedies passed down as folk medicine. So, is apple cider vinegar a miracle in a bottle, or a ticking time bomb hiding in your kitchen? To find out, you need to understand not just the hype, but the hidden mechanisms, the dangers, and the tricks that separate results from regret. So how do people actually use apple cider vinegar in the morning? Here's where it gets really intriguing. Some prefer the raw, hardcore version. A tablespoon straight up, no water, no chaser. It burns like fire going down the throat, but they believe that's where the magic lies. Others swear by the classic mix: 1 spoon of vinegar diluted in a big glass of warm water. This is the safer, more balanced way, easier on the stomach, but still delivering the kick. And then there's the sweet twist, adding a teaspoon of honey. Suddenly, the sharp sourness softens, and you're drinking something that tastes almost like an ancient tonic, a potion people might have passed around 1,000 years ago. Now what happens next is where myths and reality collide. Many swear that apple cider vinegar melts fat. They show before and after pictures, dramatic weight loss stories, and claim it's all thanks to that golden liquid. But let's be real, vinegar alone won't make pounds disappear. What it can do, however, is help control appetite. That sour tang seems to signal your brain that you're satisfied faster. You eat less, you snack less, and in the long run, yes, it may support weight loss. Not by magic, but by subtle changes in behavior. Then there's the skin. This is one of the most surprising areas where apple cider vinegar gets credit. People report fewer breakouts, brighter skin, even less oiliness. Could a simple drink really do that? The secret is balance. Vinegar seems to influence pH levels in the body and gut bacteria in a way that reduces inflammation. And since many skin problems actually start inside, not outside, some experts believe this is more than just coincidence. But not every story is glowing. Some users describe stomach cramps, nausea, even damaged teeth from sipping vinegar every day without proper dilution. Dentists warn that acid doesn't only fight bad things, it eats away at enamel too. And once enamel is gone, it never comes back. That's why experienced users always recommend drinking it through a straw or rinsing your mouth right after. What's fascinating is how this ancient product, once just a way to preserve food, has turned into a modern wellness obsession. On TikTok, influencers film themselves taking vinegar shots like it's a badge of honor. On YouTube, challenges appear. I drank apple cider vinegar for 30 days, here's what happened. And millions of viewers click because deep down we're all searching for that one simple trick that could change everything. But maybe the most powerful effect of apple cider vinegar isn't chemical at all. Maybe it's psychological. Starting your morning with something so bold, so unusual, almost feels like a ritual of discipline. You tell yourself, if I can drink this, I can handle anything today. And that mindset shift might be just as important as the vinegar itself. So where does this leave us? Apple cider vinegar is neither a miracle cure nor a dangerous poison. It's a tool, a sharp, powerful tool that, if used wisely, can boost digestion, steady energy, and even support your skin and weight goals. But used recklessly, it can hurt more than it helps. The difference lies in knowledge, and that's why the next step is crucial. Because if you're going to try this morning ritual, you need to know exactly how to do it safely, how much to drink, how to mix it, and which common mistakes could turn your health elixir into a painful regret. So, how do you actually use apple cider vinegar in the morning without turning it into a health hazard? The key word here is dilution. Experts agree, never drink it straight from the bottle. 1 to 2 tablespoons in a large glass of water is the golden ratio. Too weak, and you might not feel the benefits. Too strong, and you risk burning your throat or irritating your stomach lining. Think of it like fire. A small controlled flame can keep you warm, but an uncontrolled blaze can destroy everything in its path. Timing matters too. The classic advice is to drink it right after waking up, before breakfast. This is when your stomach is empty and your body is most responsive. But here's the catch. If your stomach is sensitive, that's also when the acid can sting the most. That's why some people add a teaspoon of honey, or even mix the vinegar into warm herbal tea. Still effective, but gentler on the gut. Now let's talk about the mistakes that people make. One of the biggest? Overdoing it. Some think, if 1 spoon is good, 3 must be better. Wrong. Too much vinegar can lower potassium levels in the blood, weaken your bones, and upset your body's natural balance. Others drink it, then immediately brush their teeth. Another error. Brushing right after acid exposure actually scrubs away softened enamel. The smarter move is to rinse your mouth with water and wait at least half an hour before brushing. And then there are the hard warnings. Apple cider vinegar is not for everyone. If you suffer from ulcers, reflux, or chronic gastritis, drinking vinegar on an empty stomach is like pouring acid on an open wound. Pregnant women should also be cautious, as should people with kidney problems. Even for healthy individuals, moderation is everything. But here's a little-known twist. Apple cider vinegar doesn't just affect your digestion. It can interact with medications too. If you're taking drugs for diabetes or heart disease, vinegar may amplify their effects and cause unexpected drops in blood sugar or potassium. That's why doctors always advise checking first before starting a daily vinegar routine. And yet, despite all these warnings, the fascination only grows. Why? Because people love simple solutions. We crave the idea that one ingredient sitting in our kitchen could hold the key to weight loss, energy, glowing skin, and a longer life. It feels like magic, a shortcut in a world where everything else is complicated. That's why apple cider vinegar will always be a hot topic. It sits right at the edge between health and harm, between science and myth. And that edge is exactly what keeps us watching, reading, and trying it for ourselves. So the final question is this: should you join the millions who start their day with this golden sour elixir, or should you stay far away? The answer isn't simple, and maybe that's why the ritual is so fascinating. For some, it becomes a daily superpower. For others, a lesson learned the hard way. At the end of the day, apple cider vinegar is more than just a sour liquid in a glass. It's a symbol, a test, a choice between comfort and challenge. When you take that first sip in the morning, you're not just swallowing vinegar, you're sending a message to yourself. I'm willing to do something uncomfortable for the sake of my health. And that mental shift alone can ripple into everything else you do. Think about it. Most people hit snooze, grab coffee, and rush out the door. But you start your day with a ritual that millions swear by, a ritual that wakes up your body and tells your mind, today I'm in control. It's not just about digestion or blood sugar or even parasites hiding where you least expect them. It's about discipline, energy, and the belief that a tiny daily habit can transform the bigger picture of your life. Of course, there's always the danger of exaggeration. Apple cider vinegar won't make you immortal. It won't replace balanced meals, exercise, or sleep. But here's the truth that gets overlooked. It doesn't have to. Its power isn't in being a miracle. It's in being a catalyst. It nudges your system, primes your digestion, steadies your energy, and gives you that small but powerful edge. And maybe that's why it has survived centuries of use, from ancient farmers who used it as medicine to modern influencers who film their 30-day challenges. Apple cider vinegar has always carried the same aura: mysterious, potent, slightly dangerous, but impossible to ignore. It's the kind of thing that turns an ordinary morning into something charged with meaning. So here's the real question. What happens if you try it? Will you feel a surge of clarity, a calmer stomach, a glow in your skin? Or will you realize that your body isn't built for it, that the burn is too much, and that this ritual belongs to someone else? The only way to know is to test it yourself. Carefully, wisely. Because at the end of it all, apple cider vinegar is not just about health. It's about discovery. Discovery of how your body reacts. Discovery of what you're capable of sticking to. Discovery of whether one spoonful of something sour can actually sweeten the rest of your day. So next time you open your kitchen cabinet and see that cloudy golden bottle staring back at you, remember, inside isn't just vinegar. It's a challenge, a question, a chance to see what happens when you dare to start your morning with fire instead of comfort.